volunteer with KMRE since 2000 and something, when we were in the Spark Museum, before the Spark Museum was called the Spark Museum. I'm here because I love it. Community radio is about telling local stories, getting people connected with the things that matter in their community, and it is the lifeblood of a thriving economy. So one of those community voices that we absolutely love is our Community Boating Center. And I have with me here the incredible Bryan Rust. Bryan works with the Community Boating Center, and he's here as part of the Pledge Drive season to tell us a little bit about what the Community Boating Center does and why it's so important. Bryan, welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning, Riley. Thank you so much for having me on. So the Boating Center is a relatively simple concept, and that is founded in the fact that people's lives seem to be a little better when they get salty. And by salty, I suppose I mean time around or on the water. There's something naturally therapeutic about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I would say that access to that has historically been kind of a gate-kept place. So
right. You need money to buy a yacht.
You do. And you need money to be in a yacht club, and you need to have access to the real estate that is, privileged. So
exactly. But that's not what happens here in Bellingham. Tell us about the Community Boating Center.
No, we're lucky enough to have an organization like ours that is so committed to providing access to those elements of being a member of a coastal community. So getting people on the water from all backgrounds and making sure that the barriers to participation are minimalized.
So what do you guys do?
Oh, that's a big question. We have programming for adults and kids, and I call that kind of a regularly scheduled program. So we teach skill classes in sailing and paddling. We have youth summer camps and after-school programs. And then we also have a boat rental program. So once you gain the skills, you can come down on your own time and check out a boat. And all of that revenue helps to support what I call our mission work, our community enrichment work. So that is therapeutic recreation opportunities for organizations that we partner with. So other community nonprofits like Max Higbee Center, Shifting Gears, Growing Veterans, and each of these organizations that we work with target a constituency that we think we can impact through putting time on the water.
People whose lives would be better who don't necessarily have that access.
Yeah.
That's very much like the work we do with KMRE, bringing people who don't necessarily have access to the public airwaves and elevating those voices so they can be heard across the community. In your case, you're putting those voices on the water.
Yeah. I think it's so critical in the context of the pandemic that, the boating centers has grown 650% since 2020.
That's amazing.
So, that's a testament, I think, to how it works, how the therapy of being on the water and how the connectedness of experiencing, I would say, new skill growth and new sense of place for people, it's working.
You were talking to me off the air about the Snow to Sea program. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Because we're approaching Ski to Sea season.
Yeah.
What is Snow to Ski?
So Snow to Sea is a field trip program that was a collaboration amongst a number of community organizations kind of centered around building sense of place and a connection to various watershed elements of Whatcom County. So the kids start out up at the top of Mount Baker, learning about snow and follow that theoretical water molecule all the way down the watershed until they get to the boating center and do some citizen science elements.
Excellent. And I understand you have a new facility?
Yeah. So with our growth, we've been experiencing some growing pains, as you can imagine. Over the next 6 months, we're going to put 5,000 people on the water for 25,000 hours of programming.
5,000 people. That's huge.
Yeah. And luckily this season, those folks will not have to change in an Amazon pop tent or use a porta potty as their facilities. So we have been underway with the capital campaign for the last 3 years to build what we are calling our wheelhouse building. So there's 6 shower and changing stalls in the ground floor, and then a classroom space up overlooking the bay. It's wonderful.
That's fantastic. So if you're just tuning in, I'm here with Bryan Rust talking about the Community Boating Center here in Bellingham. And, the Community Boating Center is one of those great community resources that makes Bellingham the cool place it is to live, grow, and play. Why shifting gears slightly, why do you think we have such a strong sense of community here in Bellingham, right? Because it's truly a community-driven organization.
Yeah. Well, I think that having an opportunity to see people who you don't necessarily cross paths with in your day-to-day places, school, church, the concept of a third place.
Yeah.
I think that Bellingham is unique in that we have gathering opportunities in a really genuine way, and the scale of our town is such that you make a connection at the boating center, you'll see them at the co-op, you'll see them at the farmers market, you'll see them at an event, and it's just such a cool thing for the people that get to live here to just kind of have these multiple touch points. And I think that sharing experiences with each other is so absolutely critical.
Yeah. And especially as, in the pandemic where we were so isolated and connected online, having that physical connection in person, whether it's, on a boat or at the farmers market Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. All the way through October, is a great opportunity for people to really connect and have that shared experience.
Yeah, and I think why boats work for that especially is because there's some challenge there. I mean, there's some new and different, and then some hard, right? So if you're going out on a kayak or a small sailboat and it's windy and wavy, it's a very mindful and engaging experience. And I think that little bit of challenge and new and potential fear really catalyzes people together and makes for a memorable and impactful experience.
What was your first memorable experience on Bellingham Bay?
Oh boy. Well, I was a Western student and joined the sailing team with no skill set. So I kind of faked it till I maked it. And I remember there was a kid from Lopez Island that had this old junky wooden boat that was anchored out in Harris Bay. And we decided after winter finals one day to get aboard and take it for a sail. It was a small craft advisory. We went out, we broke some things. The boat caught fire. There was, the motor, the cooling system. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But we had to be.
We're just going to gloss over the boat on fire.
Yeah, we had to be rescued. And that was my first experience. And
you were hooked.
Yeah. Well, the sailing team had hooked me prior to that, but boy, that was type 2 fun. And I think that, every time I go out there, I learn something new.
That's amazing.
And I think that that's why water and boats draws people in for life, is because it's such an engaging experience that you'll continue to grow through for a lifetime.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If people want to get involved in the Community Boating Center, how do they do that?
It's as simple as coming down on a nice day and taking a boat out and renting it. Give it a try. We also scholarship everything we do. So if you're ready to take a committed step into building skill on the water, we're ready for you. So I think there's so many ways to get involved. We also have events. We'll be doing a pride paddle.
Ooh.
We'll be doing a concert series called Beats on the Bay in late August, which is a floating concert, as it sounds. Just come through. Check out our campus. We're right down by the cruise terminal, the Fairhaven waterfront, by the boat ramp near the train station, just kind of behind Pause for a Beer. There's a lot of folks that have maybe never been to that corner of our town. So
it's worth a visit.
Yeah.
Well, Bryan, thank you so. Oh,
sorry. This is Bob, the engineer, stepping in. How would people get in touch with you or find out more about your events?
Wonderful. Yeah. So boatingcenter.org is our website. We also have an Instagram and a newsletter. And I would think that following our newsletter is going to bring you a little bit of joy because we usually have cute pictures and some storytelling.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Bryan. We really appreciate all your support. And, these are the sort of unique community voices we get to hear on KMRE, learning about what's going on in your community, the fun things that you can do, and the great organizations that make Bellingham the incredible place it is. So if you are sitting at home and thinking, man, I want to hear more about cool stuff that's going on in Bellingham, how can I support KMRE? You can call in right now, 360-398-6150, and make your donation to make sure that KMRE continues running strong. You can also donate at kmre.org, or you can mail a check to P.O. Box 2723, Bellingham, Washington, 98227. Thank you all, and thank you so much, Bryan, for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.